We're going to read Chapter 10 today. Please preview the questions for Chapter 10 before we begin reading. Once you have previewed the questions, you're ready to read. Please read along out loud with me as I read the chapter. Chapter 10, A History of People in North America. Lots of people think that Columbus was the first to arrive in America, but that's not right. There are at least two other groups of people who settled in North America, and both of them got there many years before Christopher Columbus. A map of North America. One group was the Vikings. The Vikings lived in northern Europe, in Scandinavia. They sailed around a lot, raiding and robbing as they went. The image on the next page shows you some of the places they explored and some of the Vikings who were explorers. In 982, some Vikings left Iceland and settled in Greenland, which is part of North America. They arrived there about 500 years before Columbus sailed. The Viking settlements on Greenland grew for a while. Archaeologists estimate that there were probably 3,000 to 5,000 Viking settlers there at one point. Eventually, however, the Vikings left. Viking settlements in Greenland seem to have been abandoned in the 1400s, not long before the voyage of Columbus. This image shows some of the places the Vikings explored and the Vikings who explored. Here we have Ingolf Arnarson, who explored Iceland in AD 871. Here we have Eric the Red, who explored Greenland, a part of North America, in AD 982. And here we see Leif Erikson, who explored an area we now call Newfoundland in the country of Canada. He explored this area, which they called Vinland, in about AD 1000. The Vikings also explored lands west of Greenland. Around the year 1000, the famous Viking explorer Leif Erikson visited a land he and other Vikings called Vinland. Most experts believe Vinland was somewhere along the coast of Newfoundland in modern-day Canada. There is evidence that some Vikings settled in Newfoundland. In 1960, the ruins of a Viking village were found there. This village may have been part of Vinland. The Vikings definitely got to America before Columbus, so maybe we should say the Vikings were the first Europeans to settle in North America. But before we decide, we need to look at another group that settled in North America. This is a picture of a reconstructed Viking structure at L'Anse aux Meadows in Canada. Another group to settle in North America was the Native Americans. Although we call these people Native Americans, they did not always live in the Americas. They came to America from Asia. When and how this happened are subjects of much debate. Some historians think the first settlers made their way to North America a little more than 15,000 years ago. Others think the first people came to America many years earlier, perhaps even 40,000 years ago. Some experts think these people came by land, at a time when Alaska and Asia were connected by land. Others think that they may have traveled along the coast in boats. When the first settlers came to North America is a subject of much debate. The map on the next page shows how we think human beings spread around the earth. Experts think that the first humans lived in Africa. About 100,000 years ago, some humans moved out of Africa and into the Middle East. About 70,000 years ago, a group of humans moved into Southeast Asia. About 15,000 years ago, or possibly earlier, some of these people crossed from Asia to the Americas. It is believed that many people also came to North America by various ship routes. New archaeological discoveries continue to be made every day about early settlers in North America. These discoveries change our understanding of who lived in North America in the past. This map shows how people today think human beings spread around the earth. The numbers represent years ago. Third grade, we have completed reading Chapter 10. You are now ready to answer the questions. Remember, you can go back and re-listen to and reread anything that you need to help you answer the questions.